Hey guys, this is Hayden with Glory Cloud Coffee. Today I'm going to be talking about using the grinder to dial in a shot, right? So I want to just say at Glory Cloud, along with many cafes, we actually don't use the single dose. The reason why is because you would have to adjust the grind and recalibrate it every time if you were going between a double and a single. So we actually don't use this side, and you can see that the light is on the double shot. And so what this is going to do, right? This number is 2.6 seconds. So that's how much coffee will come out in 2.6 seconds. So when I click the portafilter down here, these burrs are going to spin for about 2.6 seconds, and everything that comes out is what comes out. Well, that will correspond once you have the grind set to hopefully being about the same dose every time, because every time you're using the same beans, it's spinning the same amount of revolutions, you're getting the same weight out. So the way to adjust this, right? If I were to take this portafilter and put it on our scale, and say I've decided that I want to put 18 grams in, I would then hit that. Okay, and I've got 16.4, right? So I'm off. So what am I gonna do? Let me show you what I'm gonna do. I'm going to, I hit that button twice to get a little bit more out, and now you can see this is blinking. I wanna reset this, right? And I know that 2.6 seconds does not give me 18 grams. So I'm gonna, through trial, I'm gonna raise that 2, and we're gonna do 2.7 seconds in hopes that we're moving more towards the amount being that. So I have 19. So I'm gonna take a little bit of that off. And we're about 18, 18.2, 18.1. So now that I've raised the amount of seconds, let's see, I believe we were at about 16.4, something like that. Let's see what happens to our dose by raising it from 2.6 to 2.7. So now we're at 17. So that didn't quite work, right? So let's see what happens when we're gonna try 2.85 seconds, and we're gonna see how that goes. So we're at 18.2. Usually I try and dial it in within 0.5. So for me, if I was trying to pull 18 gram shots and I had 18.1, I would probably leave this right where it's at. To me, that's within the margin. And so this is the last caveat I'll go over in this video. If I have this set to do 18 grams and I want to tighten the grind, I find that it's the shots are just pulling too fast, and I need to make the grind finer, and I were to twist this, right, from say between 5 and 4 all the way to maybe 4, right, I would then need to readjust this time, because what it is it takes more revolutions of the burr spinning around to get that one coffee bean or those coffee beans just as fine. So it takes more work for the grinder. So one revolution might get, say, the desired grind we're at now, but to go finer, I might need 2 revolutions, 2 passes of those burrs to get it finer. So it's taking more time, and then I need to adjust this. So usually if you're going finer, you should expect to up the dosing time, and if you're going coarser, it takes less work on those burrs to break it down to the right particle size. You would want to decrease that. And then of course you would redial everything in using this scale until you got it right to where you wanted.
And which way do we go with the coarser grind knob?
Yeah, so you can see right on the top, if you need to, turning clockwise is going to go finer, and going counterclockwise is going to go coarser. The main idea with this thing, because these are because espresso is so, I guess you would say, finicky or particular, you want to make really small really small adjustments. You would never want to go from like a 5 to a 3.5, or even to a 4. You would want to keep your adjustments to being like maybe a 4 to a 5, unless you were just so crazy off. If you were pulling 10-second shots, you were getting 40 grams out in 10 seconds, you may want to try doing 1 full one. And the main thing to remember when you make an adjustment is that there is coffee grounds that are the size of the dose that you pulled previously in here. So after you make an adjustment on a dial and you get this gram weight by dialing it in on the scale, by the time you do that, you want to make sure that you actually get rid of your first 2 shots, so that you're getting rid of any particles in here. So I would purge this twice. I would fill the basket, dump it out, fill the basket again, dump it out, and then I would try my adjusted shot.